Hi everybody, welcome to our Facebook Live. I'm Crimson, and today we're going to be doing a personalized gift for mom. And so this is so easy to make, and it's so easy to personalize to your specific mom or a special person in your life with Mother's Day coming up. And it's a quick project, so that's good. So you won't have to take a lot of time. So I'm gonna show you today how to make this, and we're gonna be using our glass paints. And they are so amazing to work with. They have great coverage, and we also have the markers. I just use the black, but there's a wide variety of the colors of the glass paint and the markers on our shop DecoArt.com, and you want to check those out and get some for yourself. And we're going to do a giveaway today of some paints, so you can just leave a comment and we'll announce that winner on Monday. And so good luck. So we'll just go ahead and get started. And this is a fun project, like I said, and it's super economically great too, because these are just these cheap little glass cylinder jars that you can use, and you can get those anywhere, like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or literally any store has them. So the first thing you want to do, and I like to say this with any glass painting project, you want to wipe down the surface with some rubbing alcohol first, just to get off those oils and dirt and help the paint really adhere to the surface. You just let that dry, and it air dries really quickly. So that's super easy. So the basic tools that I like to use are a makeup sponge, and these are really soft, and you can get a pack of those for, I don't know, really cheap too. So this is a great tool that I like to use. Some variety of brushes. You want some soft brushes. I like just to have different sizes on hand in case I need one for a specific shape. Now I'll show you a little later why I like the softer brushes and the rounder brushes as opposed to a flat brush. Sorry, my breath. So we'll start off. I'm going to show you how I base coated. Now when you have a big surface of glass to cover for your base coat, I like to use the makeup sponge first, and I'll show you how easy that is to apply. Get a little tray out, and you want to shake your paints as with any paint. You just want to get those really good mixed up, shaken together. That's not my paint. I want to use this one. That one's not open. There we go. And now the colors I'm going to be using today, I chose this palette, a beige, deep green, terracotta, Dijon, and soft violet. Now I just thought this color palette was nice and organic to go along with the organic shapes that we're going to be doing on the surface. And you can obviously, like I said, you can change those colors out to your favorite colors. And we have a wide variety to do that. So you're just going to dab your makeup sponge in the paint, like dab it off a little bit. And then you just start putting it on the surface. Now you don't want to stick in one area too long, you just want to dab it around. Because if you stick in the surface, an area in one too many times, it might move it around, and then you're not getting that coverage that you want. So you just lightly dab it and continue till you get that surface covered. It's kind of therapeutic. You're just pouncing along. But yeah, Mother's Day is just a great time to make something nice for your mama or someone that's special in your life that you want to honor on Mother's Day. And you know, you can personalize this. You know, if you wanted to do it on a cup or any glass surface, this is great for those ideas. Now, if you were going to do something that was going to be touching your lip, like a cup, you just want to stop before you're getting to that area where your lip would be, and that's fine. And then if it's going to touch food or liquid, you don't want to do it on that side. You'd want to do it on the opposite side. Say if it was a glass plate or a tray, you'd want to do it on the underneath. That way it's not touching the food. But once you get your design really laid out and finished, you can follow the instructions on the bottle of the glass paint, and you can bake that and make it dishwasher safe. So that's really nice. So on that first coat, as you can see, you want to let that dry to touch. And so you could leave that the way it is and then have a little bit of that transparency, which is nice. But if you want like a more opaque coverage like I did on this one, I did a second coat with a soft brush. And I'll show you, you want to definitely let that undercoat, whew, it's hot in here. You want to let that undercoat get dry before you put on your next coat. And I like to get that paint on there. Just get it covered. And then you can go back in and do your brush strokes all in one direction to give it that really smooth finish, and it levels nicely and gets that covered for you. Now this paint dries pretty fast to touch, so like I said, you don't have to go off for hours and hours and come back. You can just let it dry with a fan a little bit before you start adding your second coat. And you can see how that soft brush just kind of lays that paint on there very nicely. And I'm just going in one direction to smooth it out. See, that was very simple. And you would want to let that dry completely before you go move on to your detail work. Now I want to show you, if you don't let that undercoat dry to touch before you paint that second layer on, it could start to pick up your base coat, and you don't want that to happen. I'm going to show you what not to do. Oh, yeah. Did I? And I don't know if you're just joining us. We're talking about our glass paints, and that it's perfect for glass, and if you bake it, then it's permanent. So that's really amazing for all kinds of different projects. But do you see, if you overwork that surface, your under paint starts to peel up, and then you get that kind of, can you see it? Mm-hmm. That just means you're overworking it. So in that case, if you do have a mess up, it's nice to have baby wipes on hand, because it will dry and have that textured look. You could just wipe that area off and do it again. That way you can let that dry in between coats. You won't have that problem. Okay. So we're going to move on. Now I'm going to show you with these designs. I can't tell which side is dry. This side. Now we're going to have this project up on our website, and you can, if you want to print out these specific designs that I have, that'll be up there for you to, well, actually I think it's already up, so you can print those out and go ahead and get that started for your mom. But as with any template that you want to make, you can print those out and you just cut these shapes out very easily, or you can make your own. Now I've got one already cut out just to show you. And I like to get all my pieces cut out and kind of plan where I want to lay them before I start tracing them. And of course, as always, you could do your own design, just freehand it however you want. So I just take a pencil and trace around these templates. Just lightly trace it, just to give you an outline to be able to paint the colors that you want to use. There's just so many options that you could make projects with this glass paint and the glass paint markers. And as you will see, they're great to use together. You can paint fast, easy details with the glass paint markers. And like I said, there's a bunch of colors of those, and you have options to do fun things with those as well. by themselves even, or together. And like I said before, if you didn't want it to say best mama, you could say, you know, word whatever. If you call your mom a certain name, or that someone special a certain name, then you can write that in there, and then it's really personalized. But I just kind of free-handed it. But like I said, I'm doing this upside down. This just gives you an outline to go by when you're... Really, this stage is about planning where you want it to go, because actually when I paint on the yellow, you're not really going to see that a lot, but it just helped me to plan where I want my letters to go. If that makes sense. And then you're going to have another, I'll show you another pattern. Let's see. You know, and the shapes might not exactly be what you want, and you can just hang them off the edge or cut them any way that you would want to make them fit the way you would like. And what's great about these organic shapes is, like I said, you can just freehand it and do your own thing. And I think that was the most fun part about this project. You can just kind of have fun with it. Let's see, we'll do our leaf pattern here. And you want to think about your piece in a full round composition, so you want to not just do the front, you know, cover all angles, so when it's sitting on a table very nicely, you can see all your beautiful design work. Of course, I can't, the other side's wet, so I won't be doing the whole side, but you know what I mean. And you could overlap shapes if you want, like I just did there. That just gives it a dimension. Now these are, like I said, these are just the rough shapes, because when you're painting, and I'll show you, you might not even stick to that exact shape, and you don't have to. It might change a little bit, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong. But these fun organic shapes like leaves and like a, I don't know, weird oval shape. What do we got over here? This fun shape is a throwback retro shape. It's like a abstract leaf. You can just kind of draw those on there very easily. Let's see, what else do we got? And these scallop edges. And just add some fun things in there. And I just like the place where I'm going to do the dots. It might not exactly be what I'm going to do. Just a quick shape up there. Now I'm going to show you the colors. Oh, that's not going to work. All right. The next brush, I'll show you this brush right here, as opposed to a flat brush. So you can see the difference in the application. I'll put some soft violet on there. We'd love to see your comments about, you know, the favorite thing you love about your mom. Put that in the comments and let us know. Or if you have any fun plans to do with your mom on Mother's Day. Try this. Okay, for this one, just kind of go on with the flow. See how it kind of went over my drawn line, but that's fine because now you have a new shape. There's no right or wrong. What means the most, I think, especially being a mom, is when my kids make things for me. It's all about the thought. I love when they make me things. Because it just means a lot, and it's a lot more personalized. And then you have that. So if you were trying to get that edge and you wanted to do the flat brush, you can. You just won't want to do it like up like this because it would scrape your paint. But if you do like lay it a little flatter, you can spread that paint like that. But I do think the softer brushes and the more round just do a better job at the coverage without having to rework it a bunch. So I wanted to show you that tools make your life easier when you have the right one. And you could leave it the way it is. If you wanted to dry and do another coat, you can, but I think it's fine the way it is. And you know, as far as color placement, that's really a preference, and you can do whatever you like. I just kind of like to spread the colors out a little bit so you have a little bit everywhere. You can see. So that's really just a personal choice. You know, you can do what you like. I'll show you some more placement of these colors. And I think these colors are very nice and springy, but not in a bright, like in your face kind of way. They're just really soothing and organic, so I just thought that was nice for this time of year. This one. I keep picking up the one that's not open. And we have our deep green glass paint. If you're just joining us, this glass paint covers so nicely and just has this creamy, opaque finish that I just love it. We'll do some leaves. Now, you can be as neat or as free with it as you want. I lean more towards the free side of it. And just kind of go with it and have fun. So if you see that you're like, wow, that brush maybe is too big that I'm using, then you can get a smaller brush, smaller version of that same brush, and just kind of clean up those edges. And then you just want to let that dry a little bit before you add another coat if you want. It just goes on so smooth, and it's just really kind of relaxing to paint with this glass paint. And you can see the coverage is very nice. I don't even think you need a second coat. That's completely up to you. It's your preference. And these are just those loose shapes. Like I said before, I'm going to use that glass paint marker to go back in when it's dry and do some more detail work. You can also just use a thin liner brush to do your detail work if you like. I just think the glass paint marker is just really quick, and you'll see it's just really easy to add that detail on the end. This color is nice. It's the Dijon. I put that on the main shape that has the writing in it, just so that black would show up. You have that nice contrast. So your mama can read her nice message. So you can see it, I'm just rinsing off my brush every time that I use a different color. And I rinse it really well, and I kind of dry it before I go into the glass paint, because you don't want to water down your glass paints. So you might see a little bit of your pencil lines, and that's fine, because then you can go back over it with the black glass paint marker. I dragged some of that wet green, but that's okay. And again, I just wanted to smooth out that surface with brush strokes going in the same directions, and I have that nice leveling opaque color, that organic shape. You can see how nice that coverage is. I'm going to show you this beautiful terracotta color. I love it as well. And again, all of our glass paint and glass paint markers are on shopdeco.com. Like, shopdecoart.com. Sorry.
Our website.
Yeah, our website. But it's very nice selection and fun colors for all your painting needs. There we go. I'm trying to find the right brush. So, again, like, you can use any color palette you want. And the exact colors, if you forget, are on our website under this project description. And you can personalize it even more by changing the colors, or, you know, the words that you write on there for your special person in your life. Let's see. Do this one. What's fun about this paint, and what I like painting organic shapes, is that you can really just play with it. Give yourself permission to just, if you're like, I want to change it a little bit, you can. And it'll still be good. See that? That's so nice. And these nice fluffy brushes are really nice to work with too. You get your basic colors on there, and you allow that to dry. I'd say, you know, if you have a fan on it or something, maybe a couple of hours, you want it to be dry to touch. If you're going to add a second coat, it wouldn't take that long, probably just, you know, 30 minutes or so. Let that dry really good. Now, if you start to do, I'm going to show you some of this detail work on this one. Now you can see what I did with the glass paint marker is I didn't, you know, trace the exact shape. You know, I had a fun little, it makes it really easy, and you can't mess it up because you're not really trying to follow along the line, so that's even better. So these glass paint markers are great for that. So a tip I wanted to say about the glass paint marker is when you first open them, they're going to be wet at the tip, and the paint is not in the tip. So you always want to shake and prime your glass paint markers. I'll show you. So it's just really just pumping it on a clean surface. And it doesn't take very long. It's just one of those things, you have to get your markers prepped before you use them first. Now you won't have to do it as long or as many times in subsequent uses, so that's nice. So you can already see the paint coming down to the tip. I just want to keep doing that until it's completely down there. You just shake it. There you go. I'll show you this one. It's already been primed, and I always kind of, in the middle of working, every so often I'll shake it and just kind of pump it a little bit just to make sure that tip is full. And I thought this part was really fun because there is no right or wrong, and you're just having fun with it. So you're just kind of loosely outlining your organic shapes. So you want to go outside the line or inside the line. It just gives that extra detail that makes it so nice. And so if there's parts, if you feel like that you went over a spot or didn't do what you thought you wanted to do, and since the bottom or your undercoat of paint that you've let dry first, you can still do your baby wipe and wipe off that paint if you want to redo it for some reason, if you haven't made a mistake or something. And there's enough alcohol in those baby wipes that it gets it out really nice. There you go. And if you wanted to go back over those lines, You just want to let that dry a little bit or it would just peel up the line that you just made. And they're good for coloring. You can even use these to color big areas if you want. I just think they're just really nice for the line work for designs that you like to do. It's just that easy. And if you want to go back in after it's dry to touch up areas, like I said, it's so easy. But I hope you all try this project out and personalize something for your mom that's glass. And you know, if you want it to last, like I said, you can follow just the directions on the bottle that you can bake it and it'll be dishwasher safe. I mean, obviously if it's a flower pot, you don't really need, I mean, I guess you could use it in the dishwasher, but it's not necessary. But I hope you try this project out and have fun with your mom.